What restaurants come to mind when I say fast food or quick service? Is it McDonald's, Taco Bell, Carl's Jr. even? Well, what if I told you those three and 22 others were all founded in the state of California? My name is Nick McLean with 4 Pillars. Done a few videos on the quick service industry, particularly Subway and Quiznos. And today we're going to talk about another smaller brand like Quiznos, but in the burger space.
I don't know, In-N-Out Burger?
In-N-Out was founded by husband and wife Harry and Esther Snyder in 1948 in California. And was a little bit different and also even technologically advanced. Not only were they the first hamburger drive-thru in the state of California, Harry invented a two-way speaker system for the drive-thru. Folks like Gordon Ramsay, the celebrity chef, it's like one of his favorite, if not his very favorite, fast food places. And also, this isn't a celebrity chef with a TV show, but he's still very famous. Thomas Keller. He has this restaurant in San Francisco called the French Laundry, which is an interesting name for a restaurant, but regardless, it's world renowned, super hard to get reservations, and I'm sure it's like $300 for one person or whatever. However, he's a huge fan of the restaurant as well. And not only that, they were having an anniversary party restaurant, the French Laundry, which has all sorts of fancy food and whatnot. And what did they serve at the anniversary party? In-N-Out. It's crazy. So why is it so popular? Well, I think, first off, they do start with only fresh ingredients. No frozen patties, no prepackaged, ingredients or whatever. And so I definitely think in this day and age, freshness is very important and is a, key determinant and how popular the food also is. But on top of this, there's just some, quirks or interesting components to it. I would say the number one interesting quirk and component is the menu that is referred to as the secret menu, even though everybody knows about it and it's not really secret. That's, I think, one of the popular items or styles off that menu is animal style, and there are all sorts of other styles. Orders with just meat and cheese, like no bun. There's an order where you can get, instead of a bread bun, you have tomato slices as the bun. You can get 2 patties and 2 slices of cheese, 3 patties and 3 slices of cheese, and up to 4 now. Interesting note about going up to 4, there didn't used to be a limit. However, a customer walked in and really wanted to test this, and he ordered a 100 by 100 patties and 100 slices of cheese. They filled the order, but after that is when they implemented the limit to only 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese. Even though Harry and Esther had a hit concept, they really didn't grow very fast. Harry and Esther ran the company from 1948 until Harry's death in 1976. After the father Harry died in 1976, one of his sons Rich took over, and over the next 20-ish years, grew up from 18 restaurants all the way up to 93. Now, in this family, there are a number of tragic events, and one of those is surrounding the death of Rich. He died in a plane crash. We were flying a 757 into landing, and they got too close, and the turbulence, or the wake of the 757 caused turbulence for Rich's plane, and it crashed, leading changes to closely smaller aircraft could follow larger aircraft. Regardless, the other brother, Guy, took over after Rich's death and continued the growth from about 93 restaurants all the way up to 140. Well, another sad story here, Guy died from an overdose of painkillers, and at that point, there were no children left, and the mother, Esther, stepped back in to run the company. Today, the grandchild, Lindsay Snyder, is now the majority shareholder. She had some shares that were awarded or that she owned through a trust until a certain age, and once she got to be a certain age, then she took majority control, and she is the leading family member. However, it's reported that most of the major decisions are still made a vote of the key executive members of the company. Esther Snyder ran the company from 1999 until her death in 2006. At that point, her granddaughter, Lindsay, was only 23. In 2012, at the age of 30, she gained 50% control of the company, and in 2017, at the age of 35, gained the remainder control. Now for a bit of trivia. Opening in 1948, what would you have guessed that the price for a hamburger was? Well, won't make you guess for too long. 25 cents. A hamburger for 25 cents when the chain opened. 10 years after they opened, they did start offering fountain drinks, and they were pretty pricey. They would have cost you a whole dime. Oh, think about where prices are today. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could get a fountain drink or a cheeseburger for 30 cents or almost a whole meal? You know, I guess not with a cheeseburger, but you could get a hamburger, fries, and a drink for 50 cents. Wow. I mean, what a crazy world to think that that was ever possible. Additionally, if you've been to the store recently or over a long period of time, actually, you might remember that originally they sold Pepsi, Coke. Do you have any idea why that is? Now, originally, I just thought that, you know, as brands get bigger, that the pressure from Coke gets more, or the people that go there, you know, really prefer Coke. No, that's not it at all. Pepsi bought a rival burger joint called Hot and Fresh. That really bothered Harry Snyder. Brand would have stayed loyal to Pepsi. At that point, decided to make the move from Pepsi to Coke. It's really interesting because, again, you know, from my perspective, you always hear about stores, you know, moving from Pepsi to Coke because of customer sentiment or this or that. So it's just really interesting to hear that it was because Pepsi bought a rival brand that Harry just got upset and moved to Coke. I mean, I can't really blame him, but, you know, again, it's just an interesting story. Even though you might expect In-N-Out to be super popular wherever it goes, there are still some areas where the, I guess I would call it the incumbent burger player is more popular. A great example of that is Texas. In Texas, there's a very popular burger chain called Whataburger. Even though In-N-Out has some locations there, in talking to people that live in some of those areas, again, this is anecdotal, but what they found is that there continue to be high traffic at Whataburger with the In-N-Outs not getting very much traffic. So, you know, again, it seems as though in some markets where there's an entrenched, very popular, you know, fan favorite, if you will, In-N-Out perhaps might not be as popular. So if you made it this far, you know, hats off to you, and I really want to at least give the folks that have put up with this much boredom, you know, one key takeaway that they can think about, you know, within their own business. And what I would say is that, you know, this is a good example of why you shouldn't pursue growth at all costs. You know, we've talked about other chains like Subway, where the founder, Fred DeLuca, just had a store count growth at all costs, which often led to sacrificing the quality of the stores, the ingredients, the food, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the exact opposite of In-N-Out. In-N-Out has been very strategic in their growth, and they haven't gone public because they thought that the pressure to grow would be too great and the quality would decline. And, you know, you might think because of that, the current owner, Lindsay Snyder, you know, isn't doing too well. Well, she's doing all right. She's actually a billionaire. So if you can become a billionaire without having to go public, without having all these pressures to expand to every state overnight, I think it's a very interesting story as a counterpoint to this growth at all costs mindset, that you can still grow your company and make it, you know, very profitable if you grow in a smart way as opposed to just focusing on top line growth. One thing to keep in mind as you think about how you want to grow your company. Yeah, what do you think though? What's your favorite brand? Is In-N-Out up there, or do you like, you know, maybe you're from the Texas area and you like Whataburger, or, you know, another, you know, two popular ones in Kansas City besides Whataburger are Shake Shack, or the other one, Five Guys. You know, what's your favorite? I don't think I'm gonna get too many people that say, you know, McDonald's is their favorite hamburger, might be favorite for their kids, but I certainly think that maybe an In-N-Out or one of those others would be your favorite. But let me know, I'd be interested to hear.